This video is brought to you by Cracks Only. Check out the link in the video description below to get to their website and check out their latest products. Trust me, you do not want to miss them. Yes, people, what's going on? Welcome to the full view. Yes, we are. Okay. I wasn't sure if you plugged in. I wasn't sure if he was plugged in.
We're gonna do this. Of course, it's plugged in.
Oh, KG, you say you're gonna do this. You're gonna do this, yeah? I tell you what, we've got a little bit of an exclusive when it comes from a certain lead judges. How is he feeling right now?
I've heard enough. Declan Rice will want to go out there today and prove a little point. Remember me? We're going to do this. Excuses.
Honestly, some of the other ones I've got, I can't play this early on in the stream.
Why?
You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
Monetization.
Right.
Yeah. Yes, because it's lead judges. So I can't.
Well,
give
Owen,
it a couple
if you hang on just like 40 more minutes, his fan cam from tonight will be in, so you can take
honestly, yeah, it'll be coming. It'll be coming.
I wonder if they're gonna cuss King Kai for not shooting. Big up Kivio though. He showed all the forwards how to score, man. He took his chance well.
And they did it. Hey, they did it with the reserve man them as well. That's what's crazy about it, bro. They brought on the young kids, bro.
Hold that Billy Clark, man.
We're gonna do this.
Nah, wait, chill, man. We got.
I've heard enough.
Chill. Like I can see Mina's face says it all. Mina's face is like, listen, we got Wigan tomorrow. I ain't really try to.
We got bigger fish to fry.
We're gonna do this.
But wait, there. I thought they owned the FA Cup. I thought it was theirs.
Nah, they're down bad, you know, and I love it because end of the day, this is what life's about. They're down bad.
Wait, is it going to be our What's it going to be then? It's not that. It's not that.
Hey, listen, I'm telling you right now, they're stressed.
Wait, what is it? 1 in 6?
I feel numb.
1 in 7.
1 in 7. Ooh.
Yeah, 1 in 7.
Oh, I'm looking at this Arsenal side.
What's saying? 7, 8, 9. Go. What's he saying?
This Arsenal side, I really thought they're going along unbeaten run of 6, 7, 8, 9 games, but it's actually been the opposite. They've actually been on a loss. They've been on a run of not winning in 6, 7, 8, 9 games. I'm looking at Mikel. He looks a shell of himself. I'm looking at Mikel. He looks a shell of himself.
I tell you what, Flex. Yeah, they're good stats. But what would lead judges say about stats?
I don't give a fuck about these stats.
No.
Oh my
monetization.
days. Oh my days.
It's worth it.
No, it's worth it though. It's worth it.
Hey, but what do you call it, Mikel?
Flex, give us a preview on Ty's fan cam. Flex, give us a preview. Give us a preview on Ty's fan cam.
Well, of course, you know, I think it didn't help today. No, Ty, what do you mean it? Well, we obviously, Robbie, El Cecil, we normally play in red. And and today I looked at Ben. I saw Bukayo, and I saw Kai, and the passing. We normally play in red, and I just think the white really didn't help us today, Robbie.
No excuses.
The white didn't really. Yeah, I understand that, but normally if we're playing at that Emirates, we're playing in red, and today it was white. So I have to say, I do feel it for Jacob. Jacob didn't mean to head it that way. He obviously didn't mean to head it that way. And you know, on another day, of course, the thing at the end, they don't score that goal. But of course, and I have to say, in the FA Cup, which I think we need to, I think Mikel and Arsenal should be speaking to the FA. Why is there more fans? Why is there more away fans allowed? This is our home. Why are we giving them more seats? Why? Yeah, I know they have to come down to M6, Rob. I know it's far. But what I'm saying is, why have they got more seats in our stadium? Just because FA Cup. Why have they got more seats?
Declan Rice will want to go out there today and prove a little point. Remember me? We're going to do this.
Do you agree with what Ty is saying, Lee?
It ain't been fucking good enough.
Hey, look, that's how you start a show.
Listen, today's show is brought to you by Cracks Only. Our good guys out there in LA, man. As you saw by the video right at the top of the video, as you can see my shirt right here, Cracks Only, man. The link is in the video description below. We're going to be doing a lot of stuff with Cracks Only over the next few months. They were really good to us out there in the States, and they're a really good brand, up-and-coming brand. They've got a lot of American football players, soccer players, not at the top what Mina's got on. Yeah, a lot of soccer players wearing their gear, wearing their merch. Really, really good. Whether it's the grip socks you need because you're an athlete and you play, whether it's just cash and you need this, whether it's the hoodies, whether it's beanie hats, whether it's wash bags, you name it, they've got it. Whether it's big like puffer jackets, everything there. So yeah, big up to Crack Solely, and make sure you guys get involved. Link is in the video description below, and there'll be loads more on that. This is Turkish having trouble holding. I mean, look, we can just cook Arsenal, but we do have some interesting things to talk about Man United, some important things to talk about in our own shit. But like KG always teaches me, because I did try and back down from this, even though your own stuff is not in order, even though we're in the mud, even though, you know, maybe we might lose to Wigan tomorrow, which is a sackable offence, all these crazy things, right? But you do have to bask in it. You have to just take it in, because you're going to get licked throughout the whole season. So you must do it. I do agree with you.
It doesn't matter. Say we just imagine, God forbid we lose tomorrow. You think we're going to, like, end of the day, do what you did today. It counts. It doesn't go anywhere. Like, it was fun. And you know what? Even with us now, let's say we do lose, Arsenal fans are going to be here tomorrow laughing at us. It's just the way it goes, you know. But end of the day, we got a lot to talk about. I'm really excited. Yeah, let's talk.
Let's go. Exactly. We will get back to Arsenal. We will. And don't get it twisted as well. This isn't. I think what people do is, oh, so you're happy Liverpool won. No, we can get to just forget about, like, we can just laugh at Arsenal. That it just, like, full stop. Arsenal lost, and the way they lost was funny. Full stop. Like, we're not obviously celebrating.
They lost the interns. They said they lost the interns.
Oh, do you know what? And this one here, we deserve better, says this is the type of flexing KG we need, not the crying on the phone from last week. So point taken. Couple of super chats straight out the door. Aminor says KG drinking Asna tears. We got bigger fish to fry. And Elijah Wood says we're gonna do it. Don Robbie.
Go ahead.
We're gonna do this.
They haven't done it since he said that.
But let's get into the Man United side of things, though. INEOS. I want to have a bit of a debate, a bit of an open discussion about the impact that they can have. Are we starting to see things change at this very, very early signs? Do you have faith in what's been reported is going to happen? How do we feel about the whole thing? There's been a lot of stuff about the contract situations recently. Some people not grasping it, some people choosing not to believe it, some people getting angry, some people being quite calm. There's a lot going on. So let's start with John. Let's start with John, man. Like, how are you seeing these early INEOS vibes? Sir Jim Ratcliffe's been into Carrington, Sir Dave Brailsford's been doing his stuff. You know what I mean? Like, how are you seeing it, bro? Can we see change?
You know, I said this on my video, and I said that there is plenty of reason to feel cautiously optimistic. And look, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to sit here and say that Sir Jim Ratcliffe and INEOS are the truth. But what I've been seeing so far are positive things. For example, you mentioned there, Fleck, you talking about Sir Jim Ratcliffe, Sir Dave Brailsford pictured all over Carrington, shaking hands with the GOAT at reception lady Kath, speaking to the Man United women's players. I think he was pictured with Katie Zellum and Millie Turner. He was everywhere, and the cameras were everywhere. And if you are against Sir Jim Ratcliffe and INEOS, you're thinking at that going, that's a load of crap. That's just a bunch of, freaking PR. Yeah, that is PR. That's what you're supposed to do. That's part of what a company and owners are supposed to do. It doesn't matter if they're there for, for genuinely being there. I personally think they're genuinely there because they really want to get to understanding these things. But if we're looking at the context of the full picture, when was the last time we've seen Glazers do any of that? When was the last time we've seen Glazers go into? I don't even think he knows any of the players. You know what I mean? Like, so if we're looking at it just from that context alone, that's huge. It's positive, and I don't see why we need to feel negative first. I understand we're all traumatized. We're traumatized. I feel that, and I'm not going to take that against you if you feel like, no, I'm done with. But there is cause to be feeling a little bit more optimistic. They show signs of it. And there was another thing that, just to wrap up, the Sergio Ratcliffe said, he was like, my main goal is not to make money. My main mission is to, reevaluate the situation, Manchester United, to bring the club back. Of course he's gonna say that. It's not like he's gonna come in and be like, yo, I'm here to make bad peace, fam. You hear me? You don't know. He's not gonna say shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Of course, he's going to say his mission is to exactly. So obviously these things feel PR-esque, and it's rightly so that it feels PR. But it's okay to feel good about what they're doing too.
If he did say that, what would that mean?
What do you mean? Like they're here to make money?
Yeah. Just can you repeat the phrase again one more time?
And we're here to make bad peace from you. Don't know. Come on now. I'm sorry. That's all I got. If I do too much of the UK, like it gets a little cringy. So I'm gonna stop right there. Yeah. I got to do the whole New York thing, but y'all gonna be like, damn, why y'all got this guy here?
So furious right now with everything you've just done.
I'm not. KG, why are you trying to start beef, KG? KG's a bad guy. You're a bad guy.
And Owen just went straight over Owen's head. It just went.
No, Owen knows.
But I will. Do you know what? Because let me ask you as well, Mina, because I know you're very much like when things happen, you're like, don't know, let's wait and see. Like, I don't know, like, yeah, I don't really care until I see something. Like, I know that's usually your vibe, but like, honestly, like, truthfully, unfiltered, like, what is your actual real feelings towards like the early doors of what you're seeing? Do you think it's just a load of rubbish? Do you think you just got to wait and see until you see real action, or do you like the early signs? Like, where are you actually at with it?
I don't really think it's much we can judge on. I think if any owner came in the way that INEOS have right now, I think they would have been saying the same things that Sir Jim is saying. Photo ops, meeting the women's team. I think it's good that there's a plan, but until that plan is kind of in place and we see it up and running, then I could be like, yeah, I feel optimistic and I feel like this and I feel like that. Right now, it's just literally words. It's literally words. But on the flip side, we're seeing outgoings. We're seeing outgoings in the process of the January transfer window. Hannibal Mejbri, Facundo Palestri maybe leaving on a permanent. Anthony Martial is up there. Is his future's obviously in the air in terms of I saw Fenerbahce are interested in him. Casemiro is another player that again being leaked to the media that's a player that they're looking to move on. But that's something we knew. Like is a lot of these players is stuff that we knew. So I genuinely feel like you have to give it a certain number of months before you kind of judge. Yeah. Like, and I will say this: no one buys a stake in a club and says my goal is not to make money. You want the club to be successful because the success will bring you money. So don't act like you want to come in and just my core responsibility is to make the club successful, win trophies, commercialize the team, be on billboards all around the world. Because what's that going to do? Money after make. I swear that's what you Jamaicans say, Flex. Money after make. So, sorry, money has to be made. Money has to be made.
MEK minute, MEK.
There you go. Money after make. So, as far as I'm concerned, yes, their goal is to be successful on the pitch. And we can all get behind that. And what's that going to do for them? Generate money. So either way is a win-win.
Yeah, I'm not even mad that for me, like I've said this before, even before it was Qatar, like Sheikh Jassim and all that, and then obviously Shajim, like even when we just first saw that the Glazers were going to be put in the partial sale, whatever they were going to be on, yeah, I was like, Man United don't even have to have like the most richest set of people ever to be in existence and have all the money, because look how much money Man United's like. It just needs somebody who cares, or somebody who, if their main goal is to make money, do things in the right order. And I know the club got taken off of him because of a madness and stuff, but Roman Abramovich is the perfect example of someone who's dirty, stinking rich, right? Who actually is about the peas, but like because he cares about his P's and cares about it working, he'd do anything it needs to do to make sure it runs right, not load it up with debt, keep putting cash in. Like, because then what he gets out of it, yeah, he can go and brag to his billionaires on the boat and say, hey, see, my team's proper, look what we've won. Even if it is for his own bragging rights, his care to his own how he comes across, his own qualities of how he comes across, he's going to make sure that he does the best by that club so that he doesn't end up looking bad. That's the problem that Man United have had, is like, okay, the Glazers are rich. the Glazers are businessmen who have like rinsed Man United dry, but they don't care how they come across. They don't care that people don't like them. They don't care that they can't boast that Man United aren't at the top. They don't care that they can't say we're the best in the Premier League. They don't care. Like, sorry, John. But do you know what I mean? Sorry, John, but you get my drift. But I can say that about the Glazers because John, like, we all don't like the Glazers. So that's the real thing about it. So it's true. Like, if the Sir Jim Ratcliffe thing, him saying it's not about that, it's about trophies. Yeah, it is. Of course, it's a bit of lip service. But if he cares even 10% more than the Glazers do and starts believing that and going down, if we're more successful, I'm going to make more peas. Fine. You know what I mean? No one will blame. No one will get mad if people take dividends out of the club where we've just won the Premier League and the Champions League, or we're competing for top honours. The players are looking good. You know what I mean? The wages are looking fine. Because like you said, a business is a business. No one buys a football club and don't want to make a penny. It just don't work. It just don't work like that.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? Because there is a lot of strange narratives going around about like the last few days, to be honest with you. Like, for instance, I've seen with, let's take, for example, the Rafael Varane Casemiro stuff, you know, with United sort of possibly looking at moving them on, or at the very least saying to Rafael Varane, hey, 340k a week's a lot for a guy that can only play once a week, you know, when we're trying to sort of rebuild and we're trying to get the wage budget down. And the reaction to that I've seen people go, that's just Glazer 2.0. I'm like going, that's kind of the opposite of really what the Glazers would do, because under the Glazer stewardship, they've been given those contracts that big. And just because Man United are looking at someone like Rafael Varane, who's got 6 months left on his contract, that doesn't mean that we're not going to get rid of Scott McTominay, or that doesn't mean that Harry Maguire still might not be on the chopping block. That's just the most urgent situation because he's got 6 months left on his contract. And same with Anthony Martial as well. And I get the sort of state of paranoia that we all have, because we've lived it for the last like 15 years of weird shit happening, basically. You know, Phil Jones gets a 5-year contract when he barely played for a couple of years. You go, what was that? You know, and they go, wow, salon value and all that kind of stuff. So I get it. But some of the stuff sort of this week is just, it's odd. It's strange of going, like, don't get me wrong, Sir Jim Ratcliffe, he's saying, oh, I'm putting in 300 million quid. That's just the beginning. I'm going to put that into the stadium. And look, let's face it, 300 million quid for Old Trafford ain't going to do all that much. It's about a stand. But some people are like, he's got no money. And Jim Ratcliffe's a very wealthy man. Even I get that reference, by the way. I saw that.
KG, comedian stand-up. Cat Williams was atting you, fam. He was atting you, man. He was atting all of you.
I was chilling and I watched it and I was very proud of him. I'll speak on that later.
Ooh, sorry, carry on, Owen.
Yeah, so basically, look, like, I agree with Mina. Like, we'll have to wait and see. Obviously, you can't get too carried away with positive PR because, as John says, it's just that, it's PR. But at the same time, the bar is so low. Like, for instance, when they had that meeting with the employees the other day and they said the things that they wanted to do and to achieve, that's never happened under the Glazer owners. Never. They were like, that's never happened. So that's a positive. Them saying, are we judging success by trophies as opposed to revenue? That's a positive. Like Mina says, it kind of goes hand in hand. And it just goes to show sort of really how really lazy the Glazers are, because any sort of person that was half smart when it comes to sort of finances, whatever, would say to the Glazers, look, you know, the money you're kind of making at the moment, you could make a lot more. Like, this could be really, really successful and you could build it and you could put money into it. But they're like, well, that would require us actually putting some money into it, giving a bit of effort. Like, we're just not interested. We'll take the dividends, boom, we'll go out of it. Now, they say, oh, there's no dividends for 3 years and people are positive and raving. They just kind of got like 1.5 billion pounds. So they don't really need it for the next three years. They're all right, to be honest with you. So, look, it is a case of we'll wait and see, but it is positive. And my only thing is, it's still step by step by step by step. You know, it still is, okay, let's get the CEO in first, then let's get some sporting directors in, then let's get to the end of the season. Everyone involved in football matches then makes a decision on what they want to do with the coach, what they want to do with recruitment and all that kind of stuff. And in the meantime, let's get that wage budget down, because as much as people don't like to talk about FFP and all that kind of stuff, the rebuild that we do need to do in the summer, like that's going to have to be funded somewhere, somehow, because even if we've got money, you know, laying around, FFP means we can't spend it. So we've got as we always say, a good transfer window isn't just about the incomings, it's the outgoings as well. And I'd love a good transfer window where we actually sell some players for some decent money. That would be one of the first times. We're talking about change. If there ever comes a time where we do sort of sell a player, you know, like a McTominay, 40 million, we'd be like, oh my God, I can't believe it. That is the sign of real change. But until then, we'll just have to wait and see.
I don't think we'll get to sell players for a decent thing until the next round, like the next phase, because these ones are already the value's gone. Like Sancho, we're going to lose money by the time it comes to selling him. With Wan-Bissaka, whenever that happens, if
But
that
even
happens,
that Sancho thing, that's really, and this is my point as well. So there was the news that Sancho, there's not going to be a buy option. And people were like, see, this means we're going to have Sancho back. Sancho's coming back in the summer. And you go, well, not really. What they're saying is, and what Romano actually said was, if you had a buy option on Jadon Sancho right now, it wouldn't be that high because he's not worth anything. He hasn't played in ages and he hasn't played well for nearly 2 years. The smart thing to do is send him there on loan. He plays well. He comes back. And then there are so many clubs around Europe going, well, Jadon Sancho's still on the way out. But hey, we'll pay even more than we would have paid in the summer. It's just, again, it's logical. And it's in a situation whereby we're not getting any money for Jadon Sancho. I think the loan fee's minimal and the coverage of wage, we're covering most of it. So it makes sense to, in the summer, reevaluate it and see if we can get more money. But like the freak out, we're in very much freak out territory at the moment.
Yeah. They said that to me during the week when the club was like sort of trying to say what was going on. And they said to me, don't expect a buy option. Don't expect to obligate. They said, this is just about Jadon playing again, which literally feeds into what you're saying there, Owen. And then it also feeds in with what Fabrizio is saying, because what does that look like if you slap a price on him now, which, like you said, he's been crap for time. And then how does he meet that? You only want it to go up. KG, what say you, man, with like the initial, like the contracts, Sir Jim Ratcliffe being at Carrington, Dave Brailsford in there, like, what's going on in your brain right now?
My brain, a lot.
That's a loaded question, Flex.
I know. That's why I dropped it at the end, that bit. What's going on in your brain right now?
A lot's going on.
It right up.
To be honest, because I got the two screens, and I'm thinking, no, I need to monetize that video. So anyway, just what's going on in my brain right now with Man United is, I'm quietly excited. I am quietly excited.
Are you? The word excited, strong word.
I'm quietly excited, yes, because, and the reason why I say that is because we, as you said before, Man United is a wonderful club to be involved with. It's a big club, it's huge, and it makes it, the turnover, it can be amazing. It's just been in bad hands for the longest of time. It's one of those clubs that if you turn it around, you'll reap, like us as fans, plus people that own the club, could really enjoy what this club could do for everyone involved. Now, what we finally got is it's the names that we're bringing in, yeah. And I link our situation to, how can I call it? It's like a house that's been like left for time. There's mold. There's loads of it's just terrible. I know it leads to bad things, but hear me out, yeah. The one thing for sure. We're gonna do this. But I'm just talking about, there's people finally paying attention to things that have never been paid attention to before. So, for instance, when you speak about players leaving for free and the way this club has managed things, deals, or the way the club has done bad business for years, we're finally starting to address these things. Now, bringing in, I know people talk about Dave Brailsford and all these other people. I want to say his name right. Jean, not Jean. Yeah, Jean. Is that not his name?
Yeah. Carry on.
Him stepping in is a good
full name. What's his full name though?
Something Claude Blanc, where his name is.
Van Damme.
You said his first name.
There you go. Jean-Claude Blanc. There we go. Him stepping in, it makes sense. And what if you look at his track record? It's one of success. So then you bring in him, you bring in Mitchell, you bring in they're saying Ashworth, was it Dan Ashworth, Atwood? These are guys that you say, these are football minds that have never played, they've never been at the club. We had Woodward, we've had Murtaugh, we've had Arnold. These guys are criminals when it comes to making decisions in football. They've done some horrible things. Under Woodward, we gave Sanchez the craziest contract in the world, and we probably still would have done these things. Now with Varane, I know people are upset about Varane going, but let's have it right. With Varane, we're still doing bad. So why pay him all that money? Let's start addressing these things so we can, all I want Man United as a club to do is, when it comes to selling players, we can sell these lot for a premium. The reason why that's important is because FFP is real. And we're dealing with that now. We're dealing with the sins of the past, and now we have to fix it. Now, the fact that they're like players are leaving, going out on loan, and we're trying to raise the value of certain players, the Sancho situation, this is something, again, there's a lot of issues that need to be fixed, but we're paying attention. Maybe this is right now is dealing with the mold. We still got horrible furniture. We still got like, I don't know, we ain't updated nothing. There's cracks in the tile, but we're going bit by bit. And we got a project manager in, new CEO. Let's move. I'm excited a little bit. I'm just trying to say, look, and Man United have never done this before, and we've always made money. So with these people and the money, let's go.
Sad said, Owen, stop laughing at KG. Why are you laughing at KG?
But because I always laugh at KG. It doesn't matter what he says. That's just it's got nothing to do with it's got nothing to do with anything he says. I agree with a lot of the stuff he says. When he starts getting into analogies, I imagine him doing up a house. So when he's stumbling over words, he's going tiles. He's just thinking of things that are in his house. Tiles.
Yeah. You got to do it. No, but trust me, guys. Like with Man United, we've been run poorly for years, and no one's cared. And finally, you just have people that are paying attention. We're going to have an owner in the crowd, in the grounds for every single game. Now, that's going to make a difference because they're just going to know the feeling of the fan, and they're going to know when they should pull the trigger, because there's going to be moments where they're like, well, this ain't good enough. The window's open. We need to buy something. If you own the club and you're going to game after game, you're going to know these things. The problem with the Glazers is they don't know these things. They don't know what they're not even asking certain questions that they should be asking. Well, why does this keep happening? Why have you spent close to 80 million on Anthony and he can't beat his man? What's going on? Now I know that I can't give you money like that. Why have you bought this player and you're playing him out of position? I can't give you money like that. You know what? Are you the man? Those are the questions.
Yeah.
These are the things that's going to start to happen because they're coming to games. Usually, you just get a report from Woodward saying, it's all right. Don't worry about it. Everything's fine.
Do you worry, though, KG, like the first time there's that clash between INEOS and either Joel Glazer, Avram Glazer over something? I know that INEOS have football in control and all that kind of stuff, but we have seen that the Glazers historically are very paper-thin skinned people, that any sort of jab at the ego, they get very, defensive about. When it's because there's rumors of those sort of non-disparage clauses and all that kind of stuff. But in the same way, the stuff that they are saying is very almost disparaging, isn't it? Basically going like, we're not judging success by finances or anything anymore, which we're happy about. But do you worry about just the internal sort of politics of it? Because that's a concern that I have of just like, how is this going to play out in practice?
Well, no, I feel that there should be discourse in every decision there, and there hasn't been one. There hasn't been any discourse at Man United, and that's why we end up here. We need, like, no one's asking questions. This whole time, this club has looked like this for so long. Because why? We haven't even tried to be the best, bro. We're the club that served raw chicken. Let's never forget that. And sometimes we didn't have enough. Sometimes we haven't had enough food. That this club all across the board, it's disgusting. And now we have to look at every element of what's going on. And the one thing that you can talk about Brailsford coming in is he is a business analyst. Well, I can't say the word analyst. Yeah, business analyst. So his job is literally to look at us across the board and say what we're doing good and what we're not doing, and then bring in the right minds to plug those holes. And that's what he's going to do here. And that's what it looks like they're doing. Now, can we judge it? Am I saying that now they're here, we're going to be successful tomorrow, we're going to be successful in a year? No, because there's so much to be done. However, we're finally addressing it. And that's the first stage, right? So I'm excited about just, like even Martial, bro. Martial's been there for years. Doing what? Let's address it. Let's address all of these. Like, let's go.
Hey, he's gonna go. Yeah, he's gonna leave. Finally, he's gonna leave. Before we go back to Mina and John, actually, here we go there. Jamaicana says, Mr. Trust dead KG vibes cartel. WJ Barrett says, I've just seen that the Liverpool education team, the ones that are doing the BTEC thing, nothing wrong with that, but he just means they're young. Not even a pro contract. Neat Arsenal, rip it up and start it again. WJ Barrett's just seen the result. John Sem says, fear INEOS represents Brexit FC. Dan Ashworth, Mitchell, Elise, Potter. All I hear is English names. They're all better than what we have now, except Eric Ten Hag over Potter. But I hope INEOS are more open-minded than what I fear from them to be. Because basically, the British core, and we kind of got that from Sir Jim's first opening statement versus Qatar's, didn't we? When he said he wants to put the Manchester back in United, I think he said the local,
something like that.
All of that kind of vibe. So I hear why there are concerns. Mina, what do you think like these top priority is? Because obviously there's bare things to fix, yeah. As of now, so let's say when it gets ratified by the Premier League and he's officially in power, and even now they're doing things behind the scenes clearly. But what's like top of the list? Is it like ship out these guys and undo the contracts? Is it bring in these sorts of guys? Is it get rid of Ten Hag? Is it what is it? What's his number one thing he has to do for you?
I think the first thing for me is the manager and whoever he brings, Sir Jim Ratcliffe brings in charge of the sporting project. They need to have an understanding in terms of what capacity the manager is going to be involved in the transfers. I think that's the most important thing, because I think, this is something that Ten Hag wanted coming into United. So if this is something that they can't agree, if they tell Ten Hag he has to take the back burner and they can't agree on that, then
there's a problem straight away.
Yeah, there's a problem. Yeah. So I think that's the most important thing. Obviously, we can talk about selling players, bringing players in, but I saw even before INEOS came in and before they actually won this process, I saw a report that kind of suggested that they were going to build a sporting project that, regardless of who the manager is,
Arsenal just captain.
But yeah,
I'm gonna check that one. Actually, do Arsenal still have that dog? Or is
I saw a report that said that they were going to bring in a sporting project that, regardless of who the manager in, the policies are always going to be the same. So in terms of the style of football they play, the players they bring in. So even if the manager's changing every 3 years, the way that the team play will be consistent. And for me, I think it's just that's what United need. United need an identity on the pitch. They need an identity off the pitch. When you look at the players that we have right now, a lot of them, we can sit here and say they should have been sold. Like, I think, for example, Martial should have been sold when his Sevilla loan didn't work out. But I think it's kind of unfair to target him at this point now, because people want to make an example of him being the biggest issue at Manchester United. And I feel like sometimes
it's not the biggest issue. No way.
No, I think it's a bit unfair, because you see the rhetoric online, even with the goals he scored, the trophies he's won, assists, etc. And it's actually not a bad stat line if you want to go on stats. But word to lead judges, we don't do that over here.
I was going to put it.
But in terms of what they need to do, I think it's so many stuff. I don't think there's anything you can say this is the most important thing. I think you just need to get the ball rolling. So if you have ideas implemented for transfers coming in and transfers coming out, if you've got a way to work with the manager, in an ideal world, I'll say the first thing they need to do is get rid of the Glazers. But unfortunately, that's not happening right now. That's not going to happen right now. So if that could happen in terms of first thing, manager, them being on board in terms of how this transfer stuff is going to happen, if he's going to take a back burner or not. And if that's not the case, then they've got an issue there to solve.
What are you saying, John? What's priority for you? Is there a priority?
Yeah, of course. And I think Mina's been pretty spot on. But for me, I think the two words that sort of flow through my mind when you guys were talking, I think it's infrastructure and vibes. Infrastructure comes first, because I think more than anything right now, we know we've been chatting this whole time talking about all the problems, and a lot of those problems we can't handle at this moment in time. You name Jadon Sancho, Scott McTominay, Harry Maguire, you name a gajillion number of players, that Casemiro, Rafael Varane, these players and their contract situation, that can't be solved overnight. We have to watch and observe, let it marinate, and then we assess when the time comes. But there are things that we can address and control, which are, for example, a director of football, a sporting director, all the infrastructure up top that can be fixed like this. We can put people in there, let them get, have time to settle in. And then so that when the time comes during the summer, we can make those decisions. We've already been taking L's. You know what I'm saying? We just need to prepare to be able to mitigate that L, and that's already going to be a huge win in any circumstance, considering this catastrophe that we've been having to deal with the lack in infrastructure. And the second word that I used was vibes, is because I think vibes is so important. One of the reasons why Man United fans felt so excited about when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer took over was because he brought good vibes. And I'm not just saying that because I'm good vibes, John. I'm dead ass feeling like we need that good vibes factor, because that's where it starts first. You know what I'm saying? And I think Manchester United, at least from up top, they need to understand that. Like, I worked at a I worked for this mayoral candidate here in New York City, and my man was just giving free jobs everywhere, and he was just giving out free pizza like it was a joke. Like my man was, and I'm not talking about plain pizza $1 slice. I'm talking chicken ranch, pepperoni, mushroom. I'm talking serious pizza, and he was giving it out everywhere. And I'm not saying that's the be all end all, but it starts somewhere. I want to see Manchester United do things like that, have more community affairs, have more things that give back to the community. I want to see good vibes like that to help small wins and big wins. It starts somewhere because we can't solve the problems right now that has to be solved in the summer. So let's do what we can do right now. Fix this as much as possible up top and then, work our way up.
No, I hear you. I hear you loud and clear.
Something mad happened still.
Yeah, there's been a madness. Yeah.
Why?
What did I do? Did I do something?
No, check out the super chats, Fleck.
Ooh.
Oh shit!
Okay.
What's going on?
Ooh,
Oh shit!
we're gonna
It was
build
the
up.
pizza
Okay, we're gonna
thing.
build-
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Let's go through it. Don F says, good evening. So we getting slapped by Wigan or nah? 316 madness. Anyhow, I swear. I said it in the preview.
You'll be the manager out
If we lose it against Wigan.
you're done.
Bro,
That's it.
I don't want to hear. I said I don't want to hear no, but there was million of chances, but that was never a red card, or that was never a penalty, or that was so unlucky it hit off thingy and went in.
No excuses.
That and the lead judges' excuses as well. There's nothing,
Excuses.
bro. KG, do you remember Sean Maloney? Do you remember Sean Maloney?
Yeah, God.
Oh, Thundercuffs. He's Wigan manager.
So we're not losing, bro.
I'm just saying. Exactly. So I'm glad you're saying that. I'm just saying, if we did,
We're not losing.
I ain't forget it. If we lose against 17th, they're 17th in League One. 17th in League One. Sean Maloney manager.
But they've won the same number of games as us in the Premier
Right,
League.
well,
yeah, they've won in League One.
well.
They've actually scored more goals in the league than we have. They actually have scored more goals than us in their league. They got relegated last season. I was going through my cupboard and I found a Wigan shirt. The fuck is a Wigan shirt doing in my cupboard?
What? Wait.
I got it gifted by a player last year, but I was just like, what the what? But honestly, all jokes aside, we've lost 9 games in the league. They've lost 10. We've won 10. They've won 10.
Yeah,
they've scored 30 goals. We've scored 22.
League One, isn't it? It's
not the same, but if we were in League One right now, we would be on the same level as them. Literally.
No. We should.
Difference. We'd actually be lower.
Mina will be top. Mina will be top.
We'd be lower.
We're gonna
based on the numbers.
Fam. Come on,
guys,
now.
I'm saying just based on the numbers. No. I'm just saying based on the numbers because listen, I'm saying based on the numbers, like for like. Yes, it's different leagues, different calibers, but let's be realistic.
So someone said El Clasico is then.
Yeah. I mean, it's very strong stats, Mina. But
they're saying red card. They're saying red card.
I'm just saying, if you're just going off of the numbers, it's not the same leagues. Yes, it's not the same leagues, but be realistic. Be real, guys. Be real.
Mina's head is gone. Someone said that Saeed has changed Mina, and now they can't let Mina Sports be Mina Sports. It had to come from a man.
You know what? It's sexism. You think that women can't have their own opinion, and that other people form our opinion for us? Like, you're a disgrace. How are you saying after Wigan be Ten Hag out? It takes us losing to Wigan for you to be like, oh, Ten Hag ain't cut for it.
Yes, that's the lowest. That's the lowest of the low. Yes, yes.
KG, when are you going to be Ten Hag out? If we lose to Wigan, you still Ten Hag
in League One.
I'm with Ten Hag. 10 end of the season. I'm with Ten Hag. I think this is a good manager, guys. I think honestly, you lot. Everyone
I believe that too, which is why I don't believe we'll lose to Wigan. I'm just saying, if we do,
he could lose. He could lose, and now you're stuck. You're stuck in that opinion, and it is. They don't. People ain't gonna have
stuck in the opinion. I'm saying
you are stuck in the opinion. You are stuck in the opinion because if we lose, then you've got to.
It's over. You have to. Yes, you're stuck.
So you're stuck. So you're stuck.
Why am I stuck? I'm just saying what will happen. I'm saying this will happen if this happens.
Owen,
and if
tell
this
him.
Happen, this happens.
Well, by definition, because you said something that you're going to do if something happens. So if it happens,
I'm going to follow through with what I say. Yeah.
So you're stuck in that direction.
I don't see it as stuck. I see it as I said what I'm going to do. Like, it's not stuck. It's freedom. If this happens, I will do this. If this happens,
seem very free. Doesn't seem very free at all, does it, KG?
Bro, you're stuck, bro.
Don F, you tell them how am I? What am I stuck for? I'm saying if they lose, if Ten Hag loses to Sean Maloney, 17th place, I'm at peak because I know that I'm saying he's done.
We're
If we
saying
win,
we're
which I
saying
expect him to win.
well, KG's saying you're stuck because it's almost essentially like if some madness were to happen where we lose, but you go, it was bullshit or whatever. You can't. You removed that. You've removed any elements.
But I don't
of that.
want. But I don't want to.
Because
I
you
already
said
said I don't want to.
excuses.
You said no.
Yeah.
You said that's
So
it.
I already said so exactly. So my mind and my thing is free. I'm saying I don't care about unlucky this, or I don't care about we should have won, but this or this unlucky handball. What was the ref doing? There's no excuses for not beating Wigan tomorrow. Yes.
So tomorrow, by the end of that whistle, you're either going to be Ten Hag in or you're going to be Ten Hag out. Boom.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. And I
Seems
fully
pretty-
expect to be. I fully expect to be Ten Hag in because we ain't going to lose to Wigan.
Oh, that's worried me
Why?
because I just don't like
Why?
it when you say things like that. I don't.
2024,
like
mate.
it.
2024,
I don't
mate.
like it. I don't like it when
2024,
Flex. I don't like it when Flex deals in absolutes. That makes
Why?
me really worried.
No. Man United. Listen, we ain't losing to Wigan. We ain't losing to Wigan.
Fucking hell.
We
They're
ain't.
heavies, they're heavy ones, but it's the Wigan.
Oh, you man are crazy. All right, so you don't want me
I'm
to
not
move
saying
on
that.
sheepish. Because I tell you what, if I was, do you know what I don't like? No.
See, bro, bro, imagine me.
Nah,
You're-
Jurgen Fleck.
Nah, Jurgen Last one.
Jurgen Fleck.
Jurgen Fleck. I thought that was Matisse.
Yeah, it's Matisse, but Klopp sometimes has the glasses on as well, innit? If I come on some sheepish thing of, I don't know tomorrow, man. I'm just,
No one
people
said.
gonna say, KG, you're gonna be like, Flex.
I
fix
didn't.
up, man.
Don't mention me. I didn't say anything, bro. You're talking about me. This is a League One side. I'm not listening.
KG, what do you think? What do you think the result's going to be tomorrow?
I think we win that game. I think we win that game nicely. I
And
think we
so
Why
do you
can he say
agree-
that then?
Do you agree? No, do you agree with Flex that if we lose, is your
No,
opinion going to change on the
no,
manager?
Absolutely
No?
not. Absolutely.
Even if
You
it's
know
bad.
why?
Even if it's
No,
bad.
even if it's bad, because guys, guess what? We have to. This thing's gonna have to run its course. We have to get to the end of the season. We have to give this manager the time. This manager does not have, and yes, he's bought some of the tools, so he's responsible. But guess what? I want to take that out of the manager's hands. I
KG, you
believe.
can't lose to Wigan. You can't lose to Wigan.
No,
can't.
so what are you gonna do? You're gonna what if he has a kid with you and then a mad header situation and stuff? He's not on the problem is those players.
Excuses.
Yep, those players have to go out there and kill it. Those players have to beat these lot. If we're saying that we're arguing that some of these players should keep their contracts. Well, if they lose, none of those players should have a contract at this club. But we're not saying that. Those players are still going to survive, and you're going to get rid of another manager again. Those players have what it takes to win this game. So I want all eyes to be on the players in this game. I don't want to hear the tactics weren't good enough for this game. Guys, they're in the League One. What tactics do you need? Score. I don't want to hear that from anyone. So now you're telling me you're going to watch the game and say, you know what? Do you know what the problem is? It's the manager. No, it's not the manager. You lot all get paid the most. You're the richest, you're the most highest paid team in the Premier League, and you can't deal with these, man. None of you
There
lot
could be a
deserve-
combination. There could be a combination, though, can't there, KG? I mean, it's not if we lose tomorrow, it's not completely the players' fault. You know, if you lose
Are
to a
you
League
telling
One
me
side,
that those
there'll be an
Premier League-
element to blame.
Those
There'll be an element to
Premier
blame on the
League
manager.
players haven't got enough about them to beat them lot in League One. If they
Well,
can't get done, our manager didn't set us up properly. Are you not taking the piss?
But
Do you not know who we're playing?
this is what I'm talking about, though, because we do this as fans where we're so hyper focused on it's just this, like it's just the players, or it's just the executives, or it's just the manager. When in reality, it's all a deck of cards. It's all a domino.
hear it.
If we lose tomorrow, like Mina mentioned Martial earlier on, right? And I agree with her in the sense of when you get those posts that are just about Anthony Martial, right? It's not particularly fair because there are loads of players a bit like Anthony Martial at Old Trafford, but he's a symptom of the problem, i.e., he's on 250k a week. We can't sell him. He hasn't completed 90 minutes. 3 years. 3 years. Yeah, complete. That's crazy. It's crazy. But that's a symptom. If we lose tomorrow against Wigan, against League One, shitty Wigan, that's a symptom of the madness that is Manchester United this season.
Bro,
is it partially on the players? Yes. But you can't. But I don't think you can say that if we lose to Wigan tomorrow, it's definitely not on the manager. Because there will be elements of on the manager.
This is what happened to me on Friday. Yeah, I went to a wedding. Yeah, I got to the wedding. I was thinking, bro, I wonder who the MC is. Me and Flex was like, oh, you working? Absolutely not. 3 minutes into the reception, someone comes up to me and gives me a mic and says, "We need you to MC." Yeah, brother, but I'm experienced. Yeah,
Yeah, you can do that. You can do that. on the
I'm
spot.
experienced. I don't
Did you
care
Google,
about
Google Cat Williams? Did you Google Cat Williams jokes?
no, no, I was ready to go. But then this is the thing. It's like in moments like these, yeah, in the lower division, if it was a bigger whatever it was, I have the experience. I have enough to get through a situation like this. And this is why you get paid certain amount. You get paid the way you get paid for certain times. So now in this game against Wigan, I don't want any player to tell me that they ran harder than us. You see when they done Nottingham Forest and they was all in the huddle chatting shit. I don't want to see Panther Eriksson, and Eriksson looking like he doesn't want to be there. Do you know what I want to see in this moment? I need Man United to be putting these guys to the sword because you guys play one game a week, and somehow I want value for money. I pay you lot are the highest earners, and you still want new contracts, and you telling me you can't get it done. I don't care who's on the pitch, even if it's Dango. I don't care who's playing well. It could be Johnny Evans. It could be any of these players. You lot must win this game. This is unacceptable. The standards are so low, but you man must win this game. This ain't a game to test the barometer of how good the manager is. If we're testing our manager's ability in this one, then Flex, for me, you should just be Ten Hag out now. There's no point because this game shouldn't tell you how good this manager is. It can't. This game.
I don't know if I agree with. I don't know if I agree with that, KG.
Nah, completely
with
disagree.
that.
Completely disagree because you know why? When we lost against, you know why I completely disagree. When we lost the other day, yeah, who did we lose against? Yeah, and you said,
who haven't we lost?
Looking at Ten Hag. We lost.
Yeah,
we was in the studio.
Forest, yeah. It was the Forest game, wasn't it?
Yeah, and you said Ten Hag sacking himself, and you said it's getting harder to back Ten Hag. And there was another one. Where, and that was after losing that. So you're telling me that we should be able to lose against 17th place Wigan in League One, and I should not look at the manager and say it's over. Because if you can't get them up, against Sean Maloney, the original Thundercalves, yeah. If you can't get the team up for that, get out. At least
in Premier League, but in the Premier League, what have we seen week in, week out? We've seen these low minnow teams getting points. We've seen Luton fighting for dear life, even though I don't even know what their stand looks like. So in the Premier League, these shock results are normal. But when I'm talking about against Wigan, this is a game where I shouldn't be saying how good this game's gonna let me know if this is a good enough manager. It can't. I can't say it to that level.
So wait there. So there's no bar that's too low for Ten Hag to be decided by it, and there's no. So what if you how? So then if he loses against Wigan, then you're saying, well, it's no plight on him. He didn't have a whole 7 days to make sure this team was ready.
I'm saying
he wasn't at Carrington making sure. He didn't say when he gets his players back in January, everything's going to be better. But it's okay to lose against Sean Maloney 17th in League One.
You're telling me talisman. So just imagine we start our first team. You're telling me Talisman, Rashid, all these. You're saying these men can't get it done.
No, they should. I expect them to. But what I'm saying is, you can't say that it's nothing. You're saying that it's nothing. You're saying then if they lose, then Ten Hag is cool.
I'm saying that they're not losing this game, and I'm saying that
I believe you. I don't think they are as well.
If they do lose, my eye is gonna be on them scrubber football players that are out on that team, and it will be. I don't care. You say, "Oh, he should have set us up different, bro." They're in League fucking 1, bro. This lot are not your. I hear
that. You're basically saying without the manager, they should still be able to go and turn up and beat Wigan.
I should win this with my manager in the stands. I shouldn't even need the manager. He should say, "Hey guys, on thingy, this is how we're gonna play." You lot need to start delivering.
But do you understand that the buck stops with the manager though? You can't get to lose against someone shit as Wigan, and then it's nothing to do with the manager, but then beat someone as good as say Liverpool at home, and then it's a Ten Hag masterclass. Like it's the manager is always involved. You can't just drop the manager in and out when you want.
I'm saying that my manager.
This is his thing. This is his thing.
Imagine we win this game 6-0. I can't say, Ten Hag, brilliant fucking manager. I can't say
no.
I won't say that
because you should.
But for instance, here's one then, KG. Yeah. So the team that he picks tomorrow, let's say he picks Anthony, right, over let's say Ahmad, right, and Anthony has an Anthony game like he keeps doing, he does nothing, and we go, I tell you what, Anthony terrible against League One side, couldn't even do it. But then wouldn't you go into the territory of why is he still picking Anthony?
Yes, but then guess what I would say?
So that's on the manager.
Hold on, I'll say Scott McTominay. I don't want to see Scott. Scott should be shining in that game. Simple Scott. I expect Scott to get goals in that game. If whatever the formation is, this is League 1 Wigan, guys. This is a non-negotiable.
I'm saying Ten Hag can't lose.
And I think we all agree that we're going to win.
Yeah.
I think everyone's prediction is that we're going to win, by the way.
Absolutely, and I'm not gonna get. The manager is not gonna get super epic praise from me because you meant to win this game. This is a. I get in the Premier League. There's games that you can lose. I understand that. And I'm not talking about the Premier. I'm just saying, raw. In this game here, there should not be any big solid argument, any solid debate. The teams, we have a good team. The players are supposed to be more skilled, more ability. Put them boys out there. Let them get the result. That's it. That's it. Period.
Right. Let's go to Mina and John. Let's go to Mina and John.
I just put a question out there. I didn't expect you guys to argue for so long.
What was the question you actually put out? What did you say?
I don't know. We lost it somewhere.
Mina said something about if we was in League One, we'd be as rubbish as
I said
Why are we ignoring that? That was some strange statistics.
They said you should have got sin
madness. Yeah, there was some
what
crazy stuff.
What are you not
going
gonna do?
on.
Arrest me? You're gonna arrest me for my opinion? No. This is my opinion.
Wait, let me get the super chats out and then go to Mina and John on this one. It's weird. We were talking about INEOS, and I was saying, wait, if there's a loss, how do you explain that tomorrow? Jan says, Asna, 1 win in 7, crisis, double standards, # glory Man United. WJ Barrett says, nothing wrong with the BTEC team. My son did it at Blues, 100%. I just mean we need to get it right from the academy up, get rid of all the big games now. And Riri, that's the one we were talking about earlier. Riri gifting not 5 but 10 UV memberships. Big up to you, Riri. Thank you for gifting 10 memberships. Thank you for getting involved in the channel, and big up to the beneficiaries of those 10 United View memberships. So welcome to the team. Thank you, Riri. Jaden says, we just want to be happy, honestly. Yes, we do. Troy Superstar says, if only Wigan could make my day. Onana, please. Ten Hag out. Oh, Troy just. KG clearly doesn't know football. Think Ten Hag's he's a good manager. Troy Superstar, man, every week. John Sem says, those of you who are Ten Hag out need to realize that that's the same as saying Potter in. That's who's coming next, so be careful what you wish for. And Don F says, the fact we are not all 100% confident about tomorrow makes my point. Time for change. And Kishan says, Flex, what if the players down tools like they've done all season and previous seasons? Why do the players win and the manager get sacked? I'm just saying there can be, look, Wigan, 17th in League One. If you're the leader of the ship, unfortunately, the buck stops to the manager. Like we always say, they can't get rid of 24 players in this much time and rare. Hopefully, INEOS are going to come in and undo some of that. But it's a results game. And I'm sorry, if you're Man United manager, I don't care what, especially if you're on ropey territory and you're losing games and then you go to 17th place in League One and you lose in the first round of the FA Cup, was third, but first for us. You're asking for massive trouble. That's what I'm on. I'm not. There's no coming back from that for me. But I don't think it's going to happen. I think we beat Wigan. WJ Barrett says, I'm with Flex. We lose Eric Ten Hag out. That's unforgivable. Troy Superstar says, KG, nonsense. Think what time? Look at Spurs and Villa. And Kishan says, Owen, the bad symptom has been there before Eric Ten Hag. Leaks are out that some players in the squad are not behind Eric like they've done before to other managers. And WJ Barrett says, the manager manages and sets the team. It's on him. And Troy Superstar says, sunk this low, now debating a League One club. Truly, Ten Hag out. And Kishan says, the only way we lose tomorrow is if the players don't show effort. Simple. Yeah, okay, I agree with that. But there are some Ten Hag isms, like what Owen was saying, though. If he makes some things where he's like, yeah, Anthony plays and then he has a stinker, misses some chances, and then they score a set piece or something, everyone's going to look at that. Well-Free Creates says, KG drank that Eric Ten Hag Kool-Aid. How is he in the convo? How is this a convo? And Riri says, yo, John, where in New York you at?
Yo, ask me some football questions, man. Why are you asking about New York? Actually, I talked about the piece of damn.
John's like, right, don't ask for the demographics like that, man. Don't, you know what I'm saying? But I just know I'm in NY somewhere, you know what I mean? Yeah, Marcus S says, guys, this manager is out of his league. Keeps picking crap, Anthony. What about Palestri? There you go. Load of super chats there.
Can I just say that, like, that whole thing about Eric Ten Hag, I think there's a lot of revisionism going on. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was giving Eric Ten Hag crap. Like, why is Marcus Rashford playing week in, week out? This brother's stinking. Stop playing him. Play Garnacho. Play Palestri. And then he plays Garnacho, and people realize that Eric Ten Hag doesn't have many options, and that's the position we find ourselves in. You know what I'm saying? There's so many things that have gone wrong that at the end of the day, like, yeah, maybe like for another thing. We were talking about Kobe Mino before. Like, I forgot that match before where you hooked him off at halftime, and they're like, why did we pull him out?
Forrest.
He was our best. Yeah, Forrest. He was our best player. At the end of the day, you need to manage the players. You got to manage what you got, even if it's a crap situation. He had to hook him out because Kobe was starting to look knackered. He's got to manage him. There's no end with this thing. If he keeps playing Kobe Mino and then he picks up another long-term injury, Eric Ten Hag, his chances of salvaging this season goes from 25% to 0.5% if he loses Kobe Mino. So he has to be careful. Everybody just picking and choosing what they want to attack him for, and I think that's very unfair on Eric Ten Hag. And look, like you said it, the buck stops with the manager. That's 100% correct. However, there's just so many things that are out of his control that I think it really needs to be said that you have to back him on what he's been doing last year and just try and help build up on that. There's only so much you can do. Like, I felt so bad. Like, everybody was seeing how Garnacho was subpar. He was getting out-muscled, outrun, outgunned. Like, no matter what, he's got an unpredictable goal about him. That's fantastic. I love that about him. But he's still a very young player. And, when you're that young, going against full grown-ass men in the Premier League, even in the Champions League, I forgot my man. What was that man? What was my man's name? In the Champions League as well. Galatasaray against Bayern Munich.
Against Bayern. Yeah, he got ate up by Upamecano.
Eaten. You know what I'm saying? Like, so there's not really much choices. So you have to feel bad for him. You know what I'm saying?
We need, that's the point that I wanted to make in terms of with this manager and stuff. And that's why I want to pretty much, I'm saying, give him time. Not saying that he can keep buying players, but we need better players at the club. When you look at our bench is shocking. And this is awful. Manchester United. Our bench stinks. We're talking about combined 11s, and we're struggling. It's not even an argument no more about who gets in a team when we do a combined 11. It's almost shameless. We know there's no way I should be talking about Man United players in this moment about combined 11s, but we try to be fighting these cases. Like the fact that Man United at the club right now, up front, it's Rasmus Højlund and Martial as our two recognized strikers. Crazy. On the left-hand side, remember, think about the picture. When you look at the studio and stuff and the players that we've had at this club, on the left-hand side, we have Rashford is the most established, yeah, but after that, Garnacho. On the right-hand side, Anthony, Facundo Pellistri. Like, these are not, guys, this is not good. Then you can go all the way through the team. Now you can litter little special ones with Casemiro in midfield. Kobe is nice, but then this is not a Man United side. This ain't a title winning side. These are players that you would never even link with Man United.
Although KG, I recall vividly you last season said we were one striker away. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So last season they were. This is the thing with it. Go on now.
Well, I'm happy when we have, because listen, we've all said mad things at this thing, but I would admit, yeah, I thought was gonna bring in someone, because when we were like, we finished, what was it? What did we finish? Third or something? And I thought we only needed the goals. I didn't think we were gonna start conceding and playing shit in the midfield and stuff. I thought was gonna build on that and bring in a real striker. We haven't done anything. So then after, what made us even worse is I think the keeper's even. Good night, babes. I thought my daughter. I thought our keeper would have been better. Our keeper's bad. Our keeper sucks. Like,
but you want him out? You brought him in.
Sorry, guys. On the topic of the goalkeeper, I have a question.
I said that. What do you call it? I said I don't want the manager to sign players. That's what I'm saying. I don't want him to be in charge of signing players.
Our manager's not good. Our manager could just be good and give him players and say work with this because he's not good enough to
players. Also, KG, but he has been. He has been. This is the thing, though, isn't it? So I don't think many people disagree with what you're saying. We're saying like most of these players are not good enough. We know that, but at the same time, some of the players that are in there right now are players that he has pushed for. Yeah. So again, that's when you get into the territory of, like I said earlier on, like. It's that everyone's at fault here. Everyone.
I've never said that he's inculpable.
I dare Onana to do a floppy wrist tomorrow, yeah, on a set piece, yeah, and then you look at the timeline and you go, well, we battled. I say we. Eric, between him and Eric, they begged for him to make sure he plays this game. Eric brought him to the club. All of that will all be on Eric Ten Hag. If we lose the game tomorrow because of Onana, whose fault is it?
So if Onana fucks up tomorrow, it's on if Onana does another floppy hands into the box against Division 1.
Yeah, because you want him sold as well. You want him sold. So what I'm saying is, who brought him to the club? Whose decision was it?
That's obviously that's the manager. I've said
There
that.
you go.
I never put my hand up and said Eric's done nothing wrong here. I've never done that. Like, there's no video you can see me. I always say Eric should never have brought this player this guy to the club. But I want him to run this team similar to what Ajax used to look like, where, mate, you're not doing everything. There's Van der Sar, there's Overmars, and they bring players and you work with them. Be the coach.
Mina, what was you going to say on
No, I was just going to ask your opinion on Onana joining AFCON late.
It's ridiculous.
What do you guys think of that?
That's crazy.
Well, it's like, it's kind of crazy because he's there for the first game, but what, like, you're either in or out. If I said on the video, if I'm Cameroonian, yeah, I'm fuming. What kind of commitment is this? What is this? You can't sign up to go to. You're just making a mockery of the competition. A competition, in my opinion, that's really trying to break that mold that it's important and show people like AFCON's huge, like it's massive, and it's like he's disgracing it himself by saying like, yeah, I'll come, but I need to play. What kind of condition are you in?
But do you think that's more so? Don't you? Why doesn't the manager trust the backup goalkeeper he brought in? Because even earlier in the season, Carabao Cup, Onana was still playing. Benda hasn't really. I'm not gonna lie. He hasn't played once, and I don't know what kind of goalkeeper he is, but I think it's absurd that it's possible to lose your goalkeeper for one Premier League game because of African Cup of Nations, and the club and the Cameroonian Federation negotiate to allow him to stay for that Premier League game and then fly out straight after it and then meet up with his thing. I think that is more so a reflection on the fact that the manager maybe doesn't trust the backup goalkeeper, but you brought the first choice and the second choice keeper. So isn't that a criticism on the manager then?
Well, and also as well, he said that in the press conference, he said when he was asked about that, and he said, well, when Andre came in, we had those sort of talks with him. Now, he doesn't say what it was said at the time, but it makes you wonder, like, hey, AFCON's in January. You're retired, right? I'm thinking of coming out of retirement or whatever. Oh, okay, so you're going to be gone in January. I'll do both. You'd be like, you're taking the piss. You'll do both. Like I said, you're either going to do one or the other. And if I'm the backup goalkeeper, I'd love to know the discussions he had with John Murtough, whatever, when he was coming in the summer, when he sort of said, like, oh, so I'm going to be playing cup matches. Maybe. Well, definitely January. Can I
just say something real quick? Right? I just want to say real quick on Altay Bayindir. So I spoke to a journalist who covers Fenerbahce, and he also happens to cover Korean football. And I just spoke to him on the side, and he told me that people sort of he wasn't a big fan of Altay Bayindir because he says that Altay Bayindir also has mistakes in him, and he thinks that Man United fans sort of blow up this whole let's love Altay Bayindir, he deserves his chance because Onana's having floppy wrists, whatever it is. I don't know that. I can't verify that because I ain't watched it like that, seriously. But here's what I will say, though. I guarantee, and this is all, again, this is a domino just falling apart. If, for example, if Eric Ten Hag still had David De Gea, irrespective of whatever the miss is or whatever the catastrophe he had, if he had a goalkeeper that was ready and stable for the Premier League, I guarantee you, in the early Carabao Cup matches, Altay Bayindir would have played, irrespective of what Eric Ten Hag might rate him as, because he needs to try and get both of he needs to get his new goalkeeper up to speed. But he got two new goalkeepers, his starting keeper and his reserve keeper. From Eric Ten Hag's perspective, he needs to do whatever he can to get his main keeper up and running, up to speed as quickly as possible. That's why he gambled on playing Onana as much as possible. And that backfired on him because Onana showed that it was going to take a lot longer than just a few games to settle in. He's been shaky as hell. So by that result of the first error that he made, of course, hindsight's 2020, but that was the decision. That was the gamble that he took. He wanted to give Onana as much chances to settle in as quickly as possible so that his starting goalkeeper from Manchester United is ready to go.
Yeah, I'm not even mad at that, to be fair. I understand. To be fair, in those moments, I got it because he was down bad, he was struggling bad, not adapting well. So every opportunity, whether it's Carabao Cup where we went out to, it was Newcastle, in it. Got a lot by them. Yeah, and then obviously
a lot about your backup goalkeeper.
Yeah, of course.
Like,
it does.
I don't want him to play a game.
But it says I think it says more about Onana though, because like he's playing so bad that it's like you can't even just take him out to just say like give Bayindir a game, because it's like Onana needs this game to put that right from last week. He needs
Well,
this
I think-
Newcastle one because he just
I think it
fucked up
says.
against
I think
Ping.
it says more. I think it says more about the backup goalkeeper because that's literally we're not even discussing the game tomorrow. It's the Spurs game, and basically Eric Ten Hag is saying that game is too important that I can't play my backup goalkeeper because I don't think he's good enough. Which does beg the question:
he ain't
then
played
why
us.
did you get him?
In
Then why
one
did you
game,
get
you're
him?
just going to throw him into that.
Well, then, well, that's my. I don't know if you saw him in
because
training.
Onana
He
was
went.
shit. Because Onana was so
That's what-
shit that he
that's-
couldn't take
that's
him
what-
out.
That's what I
If you
mean.
get
But
what I mean.
surely, then it must be because again, this is for the Spurs game, and he's looking at that game, going, "That game is so important. It's at home. If we
Can't be
lose
buying
that,
those first,
we're
yeah.
going to be in big trouble." And he's basically saying that because what would be the case if Onana got injured? We said I still wouldn't play Bayern Deer.
Yeah,
You know, is that what
probably
we're really
Tom Heaton.
saying? Tom Heaton. So why did we get him? Why did we get Bayern Deer then? For literally smash glass in case of emergency, bring up Bayern Deer. You know, what's the point?
Yeah, but
then?
Ten Hag needs to find that balance in his 11, no matter what. It's a catastrophe everywhere. He had Rafael Varane, Casemiro. He had a nice spine going all the way up to the top, maybe apart from the exception of the striker. But right now, I mean, we might have Licha coming back, Casemiro coming back. But before they come back, we still have a Willie Kambwala and Johnny Evans, maybe with Rafa getting mixed in. In the midfield, we have Kobe Mainu. And then on our wings, we have Alejandro Garnacho. And up top, we have a 20-year-old in Rasmus Højlund. If you're looking at his spine and that's your experience, he's got to pick and choose his poison somehow. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I'm not too mad at it. Of course, I want to see Altay Bayern Deer play. From what I've seen on an eye testing, I like him. But I'm not mad at that decision. I'd be more if I had energy to vent, I'd be picking other problems than the Onana situation.
Wolfrey Create says maybe don't ban Sancho if you don't have options. That's one thing I don't. My revisionism with the Sancho thing. Sancho effed up. He went too far. He could have reversed it. He chose not to. Let's not. Come on, man. Come on. Aminor says KG. Oh no, this is right at the top. Sorry, 1 second. There you go. Next one. Michael Mark says, I'm with Flex. No excuses if we lose to Wigan. He's tactically poor. Would you trust Ten Hag in the transfer market again? He'll be gone this summer, in my opinion. Shahil says, hey guys, big up. I hope everyone has a good year ahead and we can't sack another manager. Some of these players need to be gone. We can't lose tomorrow. Yeah, we definitely can't lose tomorrow.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. Fair play. Man like Fear Night says, why do we always wait until it's Bruck up to do something? The signs are there, so go early, get him out. Troops, I want him out, blood. Gone too far now. And Big Up Show says, hate this narrative that Eric Ten Hag can't be accountable in his job because of the Glazers. We have overhyped players, yes, but he's doing a horrific job as well.
And then again, if Ten Hag somehow manages to finish in the top 4, what do we say at the end of the season? Because
I'm very well from where we are now.
That's what I'm saying. It's not done. The season's not over. There's a lot of football to be played. There's players coming back. You can't judge it in this short space of time. I get we would like to, but we have to understand this is a different type of club, man. It's a different type of club. It's not like any other club in world football. And how look at the situation. Arteta will find himself in a situation. It's not going to be the same as if the highlight of Man United. And unfortunately, that's it. It sells. It's clickable. With that club. So there's so much going on in there. And then we were lauding this guy, saying that he's got great tactics. This is when he's saying, how did he get to a certain tournament? How did he take Ajax there? And look what he did last season. Well, that manager's still there. Now he's made some bad decisions. I'm not saying he's immune of bad decisions, but the club, there's so much wrong with this club that we have to now fix those things. And he's the last thing I'll change. At the end of the season, if it's terrible, get rid of him. At the end of the season,
he might be the last thing that United changed on that. And to be honest, he should be, like we were saying before. And I think this is maybe a bit.
I'm not mad at that. Yeah, I'm not mad at that.
When Flex says I'll be Ten Hag out, I don't think that means, as Flex, you can speak for yourself, but I don't think that means Flex is he's got to be gone after the Wigan game. I think it's more a case of come the end of the season, INEOS, hopefully by that point, got the CEO, got the sporting director, got the head of the recruitment, overhauled medical department, blah, blah, blah. And then they make that choice. I think maybe that's more the direction that they go. Because I agree with you when it comes to that, but it don't get past. I mean, look at the transfer window last summer. Have any of the signings worked out? I don't think any of them have. I was just thinking off the top of my head. Can we say any sign that we made in the summer where it was that was a good sign, that's worked?
The two strikers that the manager has signed in the calendar year of 2023 had 1 Premier League goal combined. Weghorst and Højlund.
You know what? Wow.
Anthony, one goal assist contribution in the whole calendar year.
no manager in the world, like just imagine at Man United and then Real Madrid, all of the big clubs in the world. If you said, "Hey, we need a new striker," and then they go outside and get you wild fucking Weghorst, that that's not.
But then we went and spent 70 million on Rasmus Højlund, who, don't get me wrong, I don't like to criticize him because I don't think he's a finished product, but we put a lot of burden on his shoulders saying carry the front line, and we're gonna pay 70 million for you, play you game in, game out, when there's no tactical instructions for the wingers to feed him and get the ball to him.
But
Of
should
course,
Man United
it's gonna be a struggle.
That's where the structure comes into it, because the structure should. Who said that's okay? That should never have been okay.
Well, that's the thing. The veto that two people got vetoes, Ten Hag and Murto. No one uses it. No, when is anyone going to use this veto? Whether it is Ten Hag, whether him going with Anthony. Ten Hag knew Anthony. Ten Hag knew Anthony. He went, I worked with him, and they went £85 million. We've agreed it. Why not put the veto then? Go, that's too much.
Ten Hag got vetoed on Kane. Ten Hag wanted Kane. Glazer said no. Let's not forget that. He wanted these players.
Peace. They want to spend the piece.
They said no. They said so. Yeah. He has been vetoed.
Package was too expensive.
This club is not. This club is
also KG. Were we going to get Harry Kane though? Because that's a strange narrative as well. Was Daniel Levy ever going to sell Harry Kane to us?
Should have tried. They didn't get to. They couldn't stop him. Harry Kane.
But the alternative to spend 70-something million on a young kid who scored 9 goals is crazy. That's crazy.
I mean, we were supposed to also, but we were all supposed to. What happened to Kim Min-jae? I was singing about that brother in January. I was telling everybody 99.9%, my brother is coming to Man United, and that shit just completely capitulated. You know what I'm saying?
Bro. Johnny Evans, look, 1-year deal, basically a freebie.
And then putting Johnny Evans.
That's Kim Min-jae right there.
And that's why it goes back to the Casemiro and the Rafael Varane talk and the Martial talk. That's why those guys need to go or have their contract significantly reduced, because next year, if we're going to have to do a rebuild again, we're still paying off those transfer fees. We're still paying off Anthony. It's crazy.
Troy Superstar says these players plus 4 can win a Premier League. Look at Spurs and Villa. And Troy Superstar says it's not the Glazers, structure, etc. Good manager can win the Premier League. Big up Wajid. Wajid says, talking about keepers that the manager has signed off on, ultimately it shows that he shouldn't be trusted with signings and should be told what works. Michael says, Onana 50 million, Mount 60 million, Anthony 80 million was criminal. I don't think the club will trust him with any more money, and that's why I think he's a dead man walking. Keegan says, back the manager is what we said. Proof last season. He has made some mistakes, but he hasn't got much to work with. Benches, injuries, and youth. And lastly, old Greg 02 says Murto and Nemman get away with not getting much criticism. Oh, I don't know. I think they do, and they're on their way out. The purchases may have been Eric Ten Hag's choices, but it's the director of football who negotiates the fees. Yeah, exactly. That's true, and that is what we're talking about. Between none of them sat at a big round table.
You got one of them put their £10 ones just now.
Okay, yeah, and not one of them sat around the table, put their hand up, and says, "Actually, here's my bit. Here's my 10 pence." I just don't think we should do that. It's just bare peas. And we scouted him 2 years ago in like 2021, and we said he was 25 million then. So we probably shouldn't. Not one idiot in the whole room could do that, which is ridiculous at big Man United, and that's the problem, which is why Sir Jim's got to change that. Kishan says blame of the players brought in cannot be on Eric Ten Hag only. It's on the structure of the club. Agreed. How many players brought in since Fergie have really been a success? Why were the previous managers not blamed? And they were, but you're right. The biggest blame, which is what we're saying, you can't just be sack the manager. Jim has to change all the shit upstairs and how the club operates. 100% agree. And big up to you, Wajid, showing big love. KG, all this talk about him and his tactics were before the interview where he said he didn't want to play the Ajax way. I think that interview is the turning point of this fan base against the manager.
Saying that it was that was misunderstood. That was misquoted. It was. Yeah. You can't play like how Ajax and the way how they bring the players through. We can't play the same way. Their players are not even. The players are not even. Some of the players. He's saying, "I'm going to play my brand of football," but I said I'm not going to play exactly like Ajax. It's not saying that I can't do that because they don't have the ability. These players, bro. Sometimes look at when Scott going to be able to play the Ajax way. When is we lose the ball on a throw-in. How are we playing Ajax way? They don't lose the ball on a throw-in. This is what we do at this club. Tomorrow, guaranteed, Delor's going to throw it to somebody else. And then after, we're going to look and say, why has that happened? The manager's got. But
people will, and this is the thing with that, and I agree with you. People did take that a different way and all that kind of stuff. And that's what they do with Eric a lot. But when you say we can't play the Ajax way, but you've bought 3 Ajax players from that team, and other players. That's
we
when
already
you
had
get into
Donny.
that's when you get into the territory of you go sort of go, well, I get it. Okay, we're not going to play exactly like Ajax, but what are we doing then? Because
but we're trying. What we are trying to do, and you can't say that we're not doing these things. We're winning the ball high up the pitch. We're trying to play out from the back with the kicking of the keeper. So there is things that he's trying to implement. It's just not doing. It's not done effectively. And then when we do win the ball back, we don't fucking score. That's what's happening at Man United. It's true.
We're a mess, and I'm telling you now, if we lose to Wigan, right, I don't want to hear. I
Ten Hag.
don't want to hear. I need just away from the Ten Hag out thing. Yeah, I'm just going to finish off on this. I don't want to hear how it happened. Not interested.
Excuses? No excuses.
I'm not interested. Yeah, but come on. How could Rasmus Højlund miss that? But come on. It hit off his leg and that was really unlucky. But come on. The lights went out at the JJB. So they were temporarily playing without no lights when they scored. I don't care what
I don't give a fuck.
Correct. Right? I don't want to hear it. That's all I'm saying from now. Let these man not win against them. It's all getting unloaded. Because there's no... like you said, KG, you're right. Even if Ten Hag stayed at Carrington and sent them up there, they should be able to win.
They have to win.
They have to win. We all agree on that.
They have to win.
We all agree on that. I think that's it for Super Chat. And there's one more. Keegan says these dead players were doing bits at their previous clubs. Why go in on the manager? This process takes time. Give the manager time. Yes, and I believe he's going to get that time because we're going to beat Wigan. So I agree with you. I don't want Ten Hag to get sacked, especially now. We don't have a plan. Another one. So much going on today. Choco paid me member 60 months. You guys love to say others are getting his words wrongly. What has he done here tactically that gives him the benefit of the doubt? It's moving mad. It's crazy. It's crazy. Guys, thank you for watching. Done a little bit over today, extra 16 minutes. So yes, I see someone in there said Mini stream is late. So yes, you get off to that. Big up to everybody. Big up to Good Vibes, John. Big up to KG. Big up to Owen. Big up to you guys getting involved. Loads of super chats, loads of comments. Everyone getting involved today. It's a big show. Loads of opinion, but that's what it's all about. Remember, this video is brought to you by Crack Solely, as you can see right here, top left. That way, there you go, top left as well. And a link is in the video description below to get all your Crack Solely gear. We've got some exciting stuff coming up with them over the next few months. Check it out. LA-based brand, loads of stuff on there, whether you're a player, whether you're into your fashion or your streetwear, all of that stuff, it's all on there. Hoodies, tees, jackets, grip socks for when you're playing, everything. It's all there. So we'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning, we'll be back at it, man. Take care, guys. We're out of here. Peace.